What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is Russell's React. Y'all please smash that like, share, and subscribe button for me. And if you have any suggestions on what I should do next, make sure you're dropping it in the comments. I'm trying to keep up with everything y'all are giving me, and I got a list that's this long. I've told y'all before, I've gotten a list down to here, and then long it goes again, and that's what I'm here for. So make sure you're checking out the playlist that I put at the end of the video, or I also put them in the description box. That way you can check out all the content that I've done already, and you'll also find a link in the description where you can support this channel by buying your boy a coffee if you'd like to. No obligation as always, but also, never forget to go support these artists on their own channel, specifically Ren on this one. Make sure you're checking his stuff out and liking and sharing and subscribing to his stuff and, you know, all that good stuff. This is the other long video I was speaking about in the blind-eyed video. It's another 3-video set, and this is called The Money Game. And this is a trilogy. It's part 1, 2, and 3. Y'all probably already know more about it than I do, but I'm just letting you know that I'm learning about it. This is the first time I'm seeing this, and I was specifically asked to do these in order and back to back. So, like y'all told me on the tales, y'all wish I would have done them all in one video, all in one setting, and me and my brother, when we did those, we did do them all in one setting. I just split them into different videos because I thought that was the best way to do it. Y'all let me know you like to see them in one video. So I did a video earlier with the blind-eyed like that. And this one, even more so, I think it's more important that I do it all in one video. So that's what we're going to do. I hope y'all are here for it. And again, I have no idea where this is going to go. So let's get it.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, strife, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chained to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money.
So, I mean, just right away, I mean, we're just straight up talking about greed. So, I wonder what the game is here. This is going to get crazy. So, we got a guy with a sheet roped to his head. He's playing a guitar. Really just relating money to evil and all the problems in the world already. It kind of looks like where we're going here.
This whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop. This old money game. Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom.
I don't know where he's going with just yet, but what I just heard there is we went away from money a little bit here. Uh, so the whole money thing that I was getting the vibe of, it's like, the more money you have, the higher up the hierarchy you are. But it seems like the higher up the hierarchy you are, the more evil you are, the more greedy you are. So that all that just plays hand in hand. And then there at the end of what he was talking about was we're all part of this old money game, so there's no way to not be a part of it. Um, that's just kind of the nature. I mean, it just kind of sucks, but you're roped into it. I don't know. That's even whether you're at this level, this level, this level, whatever level you're in. Even if you're at the lowest level where the money only affects you in a negative way, or you're way up here and you're one of the ones that's negatively affecting people. Whatever, you're part of the game. So I kind of got that point, and then we started moving on to the next set of lyrics where he's talking about freedom of speech and stuff, and it's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. That's always been kind of interesting to me, uh, because there are things you can say that get you in trouble legally. So it's like freedom of speech is not 100% free. Like, you don't just get to go around and say literally whatever you want. There are consequences, and sometimes those consequences can be legal. Sometimes they get handled out back. So, freedom of speech comes, you're free to say what you want, but it still comes with consequences. So I'm curious to see where he's going with this. The reason I stopped it right there is, when did freedom become a reason to hate? Just a way to or a way to justify a racial slur or insult? You can use it to justify, but that does not change the fact that there will also be consequences. You can sit here and say, I have the right to say whatever I want, but if whatever you want offends this guy, and if it's legally an issue, he can sue you over it. And if he gets mad enough at you, he can just take you out back. I mean, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with any of these positions. This is like a from the outside looking in kind of view. Just, there's consequences. You're free to a point, and I don't think there's anything that's 100% free. I don't think there has ever been a 100% freedom, because if there is, and you have two people with two opposing point of views, somebody's going to clash. So there's always going to be consequences to your views, no matter what. I probably went way too long on that, and I may even edit some of that out, but we'll see. Let's continue. I'm going to run it back a minute here.
But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder that savages colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants, when really you're the immigrant, cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent, I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak, our opinions are our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game.
Alright, before he beats the crap out of this guy covered in a sheet playing guitar, I just want to run back through and talk a little bit about what he said. Hopefully not as long as I did last time. I don't want to bore y'all too much. But he's right on the fact that, history repeats itself, and it always has, and it's always been evil. Or at least an evil element. Always. I mean, it always is. You can't have war and not have evil involved. There's no two good people fighting against each other. There's always evil involved, and the world's always been at war at some point. I don't think there's ever been 100% world peace. There's always somebody fighting somebody somewhere, and somebody's right and somebody's wrong, or both people are wrong. That could also be the case. We have pillaged and plundered and murdered like savages, colonize it. That's true. It's been the nature of the world. He went back a little bit in history by going to Britain and then to Rome and then the Saxons, Germans, whatever. But this has been going on since the beginning of time. This has never been a case where this has not been true. And same thing with the whole immigrant thing. People have moved around this world, the entirety of the world. So still, even yet, and I don't want to go too far on this because I don't know where he's going with it, and I really don't want to be in opposition at all, because it's when it boils down to it, do I disagree with being mean or ugly to people in general, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, okay? But what I am saying is cities and countries for the entirety of time, the more successful ones have protected themselves with borders and walls. And yes, at some time, everybody has moved to that point. So even those people, no matter where you're at, those people had to move there at some time. They are an immigrant. They migrated to that spot at some point in time. So the problem comes, I think, in this day and age where, back then there was hundreds and then thousands and then 10,000s and then hundreds of thousands and then millions and then, now we're to 8 billion people. So the more and more and more and more people you have in the world, the more and more and more this becomes a problem. With everybody, kind of agreeing where you should be, or is it okay, or is it not okay? It's just everything's a problem. And you don't have a few mindsets deciding this. You have tons of mindsets trying to decide what's right and wrong. I may be missing the whole point of the TechCom video here, but the stuff he's talking about is crazy. And if we get back on the money game kind of theme, it all really boils down to wealth in a way. Kingdoms are established on wealth and power and how much land you amass, how big your army is, how much gold you have, and then all the way to now, it's all about the dollar. So I don't know. Maybe in part 2 and part 3, we learn a little bit more. His message in this one seems pretty clear. He doesn't like the greed. He doesn't like just people being evil or mean or ugly or whatever word you want to use to each other in general. So y'all can let me know how far off I am, or let me know how close I am, or put your thoughts in the comments. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. We can all have a discussion. I think his points are very, very valid. That the points that I'm gathering from it, and that's assuming that my points are correct, that I am hearing from this. So the more y'all let me know, the more we talk about it, then the more we know. So with that being said, let's see if he beats the crap out of this guy playing the guitar. Whoa. I was not expecting that to be what he did there at the end. I kind of did once he decided not to pour it on him and go sit down. But that's not what I was expecting right there at all. Not at first. We're all part of this same game. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that first one, and I definitely will. So a lot of times, guys, and in this long form video, I kind of feel like, if you're gonna watch this video for a long time, I feel like I ought to do a lot of talking. I don't know. Maybe we can learn a little bit about each other this way. When I go back and edit, I hear everything all over again, and I usually catch on to more that time than I do on the initial reaction, which kind of sucks. But I like to leave it, if I haven't heard something before and I'm sharing it with you guys as a first time reaction, I want to leave it that way. So I'm trying to understand before we move on and make sure I don't screw up. I feel like the whole premise of this video is we're talking about money, power, greed, evil. Then we went on this whole spiel about immigration. Now, how that ties to the money game, I went on a little long rant there about immigration. I don't agree nor disagree with it. Like, to me, it's something that's always been going on. I understand immigration always happens. People always move around the world. And I also understand countries and cities from the beginning of time have always protected themselves and their borders. So, I know those two things to be true. Where the money games part of it ties into and where the stance is being taken on this, I'm not quite understanding. I'm hoping that, maybe in the next two videos some of this gets explained, or, sometimes artists just bring up stuff to bring light to situations, and so maybe he's just saying, in that video, he's just like, this is my point of view on it, and here it is. But then he dumps the gas on himself at the end, himself. So is the guy playing guitar kind of representation of the good side, and he's a representation of the greed and evil, and he's burning himself up? I don't know. I have no idea where that's going. So maybe we'll find out in part 2. Maybe we'll pick up off of where that left off. So we'll see. Let's move on to part 2.
Strange time we're living in, panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on. Needlessly bleeding, resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game.
Oh, rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we die upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to
the same hook right here.
But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
So it's almost like he had the same, I think that's the same hook from the first video. Guys, I hope I'm on the right video. I tried doing what I thought was the official video before, but it seemed to cut out the whole first half. It was really short, so this one right here, we're talking about government. So the last time we were talking about money and greed and power and stuff, and it had some government aspects, but it was talking about really kind of like war and conquering and immigration. Now we're talking about government, American government, Britain government. This one's a lyric video, that's why it's throwing me off a little bit.
This whole
Money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells cause there's loads on the sand. Step 1, you must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step.
Well, I knew where he was going with that, and when I seen the word diamond down there, I knew that's where he's going with that. I heard, and I don't know how true it is. Obviously, there's some element of truth, and it's probably mostly true from what I understand, but diamonds are not all that rare when it comes to having little bitty diamonds like in a ring. Like, they're not all that rare. There's just somebody that owns the mass majority of them, and they release them in little bits to keep the value of them up. The supply and the demand's high, so they keep the supply low, so the value of them stays high. I've heard that, and I think they do that with a lot of things. I think they do that with oil too. That's just my personal thing. I can't give you no facts on that. I feel like they do that with all kinds of different stuff. Food, you create a dadgum scare, and everybody buys up all the food, so now the supply is low and the demand's high, and now everything's higher in cost. So I don't know. I don't want to get too far into that because I just don't know enough. But I'm sure there's somebody out there that's seeing this and can tell me more than I know. So I'd be interested to hear.
Gotta make the people think that they want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste, man. Free, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4. Expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands. 5. Why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6. Sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7. Press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8. Big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9. Polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10. The world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore.
Rain, a storm it comes our way.
So he kind of went with where I was thinking about that with the whole, oil was the one example I had, but I mean, it's everything. I mean, it's food, it's oil, it's just almost vehicles, just everything. So this whole money game thing, we're talking about how the world is based on money, and it is money that's making the world evil. Anyway, I don't know. That's kind of the take I'm getting on it. Just a very simplistic, uncomplex way to summarize it. But let's continue. We still got a whole another video to do, guys. I hope you're sticking with me.
And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we not upon the blame. It's easier to blame. We point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game.
It's fire right there. So we pretty much, I think we did a good job summarizing that. I say we, if you're sticking with me, then you can let me know anything in the comments that I need to know. Again, the first video, I feel like we was talking about just the basics of the world. We were talking about immigration and the problems with that, free speech, and how free is it really, and what's the point of it if I don't know where he was going with that. What's the point of it if you're going to use it for hate? But again, I feel like if you're going to have the freedom of speech, then everybody has the freedom of speech, and if you're going to use it for hate, then you're also going to pay the consequences for the people that don't agree with you being hateful. So I don't know. Let's not get back down on that hole. Then the second video was talking more about supply and demand, and how government's involvement in that. And the higher up you are, it's like they're using all the people on the lower level to make things happen on their end, and at this higher level there's just this game going on, and it's all to do with money, and it's mass amounts of money. I was talking to somebody the other day about how there's just absolutely no way to comprehend the amount of money that moves through the world. There's no way. I mean, I have never in one time in my life, let me see, I've never seen in my hand, I've never seen more than 4 digits of money. 4 figures. Never seen more than 4 figures of money in my hands or in person or anything. Plenty of y'all probably have, or some of y'all, plenty of people have seen way more than that. I don't understand money on the billions and trillions of dollars level, and I don't think many of us do. So when it comes down to it, like he said, when you get to that amount of money, there's no more morals. Morals are for people like us. There's no morals when you're talking about that amount of money, and that's not a good thing. So let's see where part 3 takes us. Part 3 is 9 minutes long, y'all. And we're probably already 30 minutes into this video with all my talking. So, holy cow. This is more like a podcast. I'm here for it if you guys are. I'm not complaining. I'm enjoying this, but wow, we're really talking about some time here when we start putting videos together. I kind of like it this way, though. I almost thought about live streaming this, but I've never done a live stream. I don't know how many people would show up if I did a live stream. So I don't know if that's something I should do at my level, or, you know, maybe if we get a lot more subscribers here to the channel, then that'd be something to do. Here's this guy. Oh. More than one of them. This one looks like Ren.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading
reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns
Just to be raised that way, I don't, you know, you can be raised in a way to where I feel like some of these things he's saying is not always necessarily wrong. 6 years old, reading, writing, top of the bunch. It's not bad. Student number 1, not bad. Praised for unusual grades, not bad. His solving complex mathematical equations, not bad. There's all this kind of stuff. It's not bad, but how do you use it? So his dad's telling him money is the means to all ends. The world don't give a damn about you. Just take what you can. When you couple that with somebody that's very smart, you got somebody that's very smart intellectually, and then the only goal that they have is money, that's it's not gonna create good. I like how he's going through year by year, starting at 1 year old, and let's see where we're going now, because we're about 18. I think I seen 19 maybe.
This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the popo inside of his pocket.
Sounds like some cartel type stuff. But dang, he went from, so how bad is this? He went from being a successful businessman to being successful in the government. His daddy telling him not doing good enough. And then now we're going into drugs and weapons.
35, he gets a call. I'm sorry son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
At what age was that? Hold on, let me look at 39. So we went from the first video was a story about just almost like the world in general, okay, and then how it come to a point to where governments, let me see if I have this right, about the world in general, and then it wasn't about government. It was the world in general, and then it was about immigration. So we're talking about just the hierarchies of people in the world, and how we've conquered and taken over territories over centuries, and then how immigration's was a problem. Then in the second one, it was more like supply and demand and just economics of the world between countries and stuff like that. And this one, we've started with a child at 1 year old and went through his life all the way up to age 40 right now. We're getting to 40. It was 39, so we're getting to 40. And we went through his life of being raised to think money is everything, success is everything, and the more success he has, he's told it's not enough. And now he's went from businessman to politician to drug lord. Now he's in a wheelchair. Whew! And we're a little over halfway through this video. More masks, more bagged heads. Now we got a string quartet.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music.
I like how he put that. His example is exaggerated versions of me, you, him, her, whoever. It's exaggerated versions of herself. But you can sit here and live a life where you're providing for yourself and for your family and helping others. You're doing enough to provide for them, but also living life and being happy. Or you can just go for it all and be absolutely miserable, end up with literally nothing but all your wealth and have nobody else around you. I don't know. That's a little snippet I think I got right there.
This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension.
So maybe I heard him say border's an invention. Maybe we're kind of going back to first video and tying everything together here.
Ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
Uh-oh. Where are we going here?
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain."
Hold on. I know that 45 is the age we're talking about. Is that a 45 he's holding? Ren's all about some doubles and triples. I'm just curious. That's a whole side note from everything else we're talking about. Is he holding a 45? Come on.
Soaking wet upon the wheel. 45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain. Soaking wet upon the wheelchair. Drinking again. He is everything he wants. He is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father.
He spelled it out.
It's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
That almost in a way ties it all back to the first one where he poured gas all over himself. But there really wasn't no character there, I don't think, when he poured the gas on himself. It was just, he was almost like this, the embodiment of evil. In the end, evil is supposed to lose. Good is supposed to prevail. God is supposed to prevail. The world is evil. Money is a form that evil uses, that evil takes, I believe. But it's all in the minds of man. Just like he said, everything's an invention, you know. It's an invention of the mind of man. God created this world to be good. Gave man the choice to choose good and not choose evil. And evil was chosen. Literally promises us in the Bible that the world is not going to be better until the new heaven and new earth is created. I can't sit here and tell you chapter and verse or quote you anything like that. But one thing I do understand is you can pray for peace. You can hope for the world to become better. Ultimately, this world is going to end due to evil. That's why we need Jesus. So I don't want to make this a sermon or anything, because I am definitely not a preacher. But I guess my point is that do everything you can to make a world a better place. There's no excuse not to. But also understand that the world is going to be an evil place. That's why we're supposed to separate ourselves from it. If everybody did that, then it would be a perfect place. Everybody's not going to, though. So it's a story almost kind of like just awakening you to what's going on if you don't already know. A lot of us already know. But the more you point it out and stuff, then the more that could be done about it, and the more people are aware of it and want to do something about it. So, anyways, I put a lot of thoughts into this one. Not necessarily any of them hit the mark. If you've stuck with me this long, I want to give you a big shout out. Thank you. Comment and let me know if you stuck with it through the whole thing. That would be interesting for me to know. Let me know if you like these long form videos. I like doing videos like this. Obviously not every one of them's going to be like this. But I do enjoy it. I enjoy trying to take in, because realistically I sit here and do these videos almost like this anyway. I'll do 2 or 3 videos in a row. I just separate them into individual videos and edit them and release them on YouTube as I get them done. So it ends up being like, you know, if I get 2 videos done a night, then I film one, then I edit it, and then I post it, and then while it's posted, then I'm filming one and editing one and then posting it. So if I do it in long form like this, then it just all comes to you at once in one big long video. So if you like it like that, let me know. If you prefer shorter segments, you know, that what the way I see it is, if some videos go together and y'all like it like that, I'll do them together. But then of course some of the just one single videos, and stuff, I'll still do in one videos reactions. So anyhow, I'm tired of boring y'all guys. I think I bored y'all enough. So until next time, peace out.